Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, where you're at. This is Rick Curti of the Charlotte Bet Podcast and more, bringing you another exciting round of sports. I'm here in the Queen City of beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope everyone's having a great day and happy Super Bowl or happy football withdrawal day, right? There's a time where people are like, man, I want to see more football, so stuff like that. So before we get into the Super Bowl and other things, I just want to apologize to everyone out there for last week. I decided that Monday we were not going to do a show because of the events that happened with, unfortunately, the Kobe Bryant incident, or I'm sorry, of the death of Kobe Bryant, and nine other people as well. It was a very emotional day. I grew up in Los Angeles. Kobe is like a massive icon out there, and it was very, very sad. It was shocking. Still hard to believe he's passed away, and it's just sad that a lot of people lost family members. His beautiful wife lost a husband, lost her daughter, 13 years old. I just can't even imagine that. But I just want to pay tribute to not only to Kobe, but the other people as well, because they might not have been Carrie Autobali, his daughter Alyssa, Christina Manser, Christina Mauser. I apologize. She was married, left three kids. Sarah Chester and Payne Chester, that was her daughter, and of course the pilot Era Zobion. If I said his name wrong, I apologize. So I just want to pay respect to everybody there, and to the we're praying for everyone there, and it's just a tragedy, and it's just my heart goes out to everybody out there. So we had a big game uh, yesterday. I don't know if everyone paid attention to it. But it was the Super Bowl, or as I like to call it, the overrated bowl, because it's probably one of the most overrated spectacles in all of professional sports. And yet it's the most popular one because people watch it. Even people who are not football fans will watch it. My mom doesn't know anything about football. Even she wanted to see the halftime show, and even she was wanting to see who was going to win. So I'm telling you, the NFL does a great job with their championship game. It's just phenomenal what they do. And I really didn't care because I was not very enthusiastic about the Chiefs or the 49ers. I didn't care last year when the Patriots and the Rams were in it. But congratulations to the Chiefs, because and congratulations to Andy Reid. Most of all, man, I was one of his harshest critics. I said he's the Marty Schottenheimer of our era. The guy will never win a Super Bowl. And man, he proved me wrong. So congratulations to Andy Reid, to the Kansas City Chiefs, to the great people of Missouri for winning a championship, and winning a Super Bowl. And Pat Mahomes, man, he's a star in the making. And man, I feel bad for the Bears, even though I'm not a Bears fan. I mean, to pass up on Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, that's crazy. And to trade up to get Mitch Trubisky, and I know Mr. Trubisky went to North Carolina and all that, but man, the Bears really screwed that one up, didn't they? So they got to be kicking themselves, not drafting either Pat Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. So that's got to be rough for them. But congratulations to the Chiefs. Congratulations to the Mahomes. Congratulations to the great state of Missouri. And like I said, I'm not a fan of the Super Bowl. I get tired of seeing it. I get tired of some of these NFL games because they run so long. But but a lot of people like to watch it. In the halftime show, a lot of criticism there. People are really I'm seeing some negativity between Jennifer Lopez and Shakira that performed. Honestly, I didn't really care. I'm not really a big fan of either of them. But I don't know what people expected. Jennifer Lopez likes to sex it up and have fun and stuff like that. And now these people are outraged because they think she went too far. And yet No one had a problem when Adam Levine appeared on the Super Bowl shirtless with tattoos. So I guess some people, I guess they like to pick whoever they want to be mad at. So, but I heard it was great, and those ladies did a wonderful, wonderful job. So, congrats to them. So, I know what's next with the NFL. What's going on right now? As I've always been talking about. I've been waiting for the XFL, okay? And I know people probably get tired of seeing it on my Facebook and me posting about it all the time, but I'm super excited about this league, guys, because I'm just so bored with the NFL. The games are too long. The officiating is a joke. The NFL needs to make these referees full-time referees. Stop making them part-time. Stop. Open up a school. You guys are making billions and billions of dollars. Open up a school, please, and teach these guys to be good referees, because it's easy to criticize somebody when you're sitting at home and watching instant replay and all that. But man, some of these plays, you don't need instant replay. They're so bad. I mean, that pass interference against the Saints last year, not this one, last year, was atrocious. Okay, I'm still mad that Kelvin Johnson, that catch where it was obviously a touchdown, and he took it back because, well, he didn't have full control of the ball. You see, it's kind of moving around, and shut up, okay? It was a catch, and that's what I like about this new league, because a catch is a catch. A penalty is a penalty. You know, if you give a good hit, they're not going to penalize you 15 yards and throw a flag or eject you like the NFL does. But at the same time, what I like about it is that they know that there's issues with the NFL with the CTE. And the NFL can do whatever they want. They can say, no, there's no connection. It's not true. All they care about is the almighty dollar. Okay, they don't care about their players. They don't care about their safety. They care about the almighty dollar. They do not want to lose billions and billions of dollars from the fans. They already had to pay close to $1 billion in lawsuits. People like Jim McMahon and other NFL players who were saying, "Hey, we have CTE and nobody told us about it, and they just pretty much just drugged us up and told us to go back on the field and just do your job." And so I know the NFL is trying to work on that, and I don't know. It's just kind of a double-edged sword for them. So I hope they just find some way to do it, and maybe they could pick up some pointers from the XFL about playing good, hard-hitting football, but at the same time, make it safe for everybody and get rid of all these players like Burflicht, that are just keep hitting people with their helmets and do it on purpose. Myles Garrett swinging his helmet and almost hitting Mason Rudolph in the head, and people are actually saying, well, Mason Rudolph started it. It doesn't matter. You don't get your helmet, swing it, and hit someone in the head with it. It's just, you don't do that. Okay? And I can hear all the excuses and all you want. It don't matter. You do not do that. Period. And if the shoe was on the other foot, people would be outraged with Mason Rudolph. So like I said, people have selective outrage. It's okay if their other player does it, but yes, another opposing person does it, it's wrong. Sort of like the halftime show, with Jennifer Lopez. People are outraged because they thought it was a little too sexual, but yet at the same time didn't have a problem with Adam Levine with his shirtless, showing his tattoos off, appearing. They were okay with that, but God forbid, let's have a woman up there, and people get outraged. So it's just, like I said, it's just insane. But like I said, I haven't watched Super Bowl in a long time, so I'm just not, like I said, I didn't really care. A lot of people like the commercials, but I'll tell you one thing about the NFL: they do an awesome job with it. I personally love the World Series. I know it's 7 games. I know baseball could be a little slow, but it's great. The finals are great too. The Stanley Cup finals are good too, but the NFL just does a really, really good job. I guess because it's just one game, and it's like, sudden death. Like, you lose, you're out. Don't matter. There's no best of 7 series or whatever. So, you know, um, so like I said, they do a great job promoting their brand, promoting their names, and people can hate the NFL all they want. Hey, Goodell, people are going to watch the Super Bowl no matter what. either commercials or food or just a way to just have fun and be with people. So that's how it is. But speaking of baseballs, I was talking about it. And, I'm just still not over this whole Houston Astros cheating thing, okay? And a lot of people are going to be like, Rick, you're from Los Angeles. You're a Dodger fan. Of course you're upset. Of course you want them stripped. Of course. They should be stripped of the title. I'm sorry. What they did was worse than Pete Rose cheating. It's worse than Barry Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and Canseco and all these other cheaters taking steroids. Okay, this was very detailed. This was not stealing signs saying, "Ooh, the guy's gonna throw a curveball. Expect a curveball." It's not like that. This was like, I mean, just cheating beyond cheating with, like, like the Patriots with videotaping people's practices. It was worse than that, using monitors and stuff like that, and it's just outrageous. It's outrageous, and some of these guys need to be gone. Okay, they just need to be gone. I'm glad that the Red Sox got rid of their manager. I'm glad. I mean, he should be banned. Okay, if you're gonna ban Pete Rose, you're gonna ban Shoeless Joe Jackson. You need to ban this idiot, this cheater. Okay, because not only did he cheat with the Astros, he cheated with the Red Sox, and he played for the Dodgers. So he's nothing but a cheater and a traitor, and he should be ashamed of himself. So Alex Cora out there, Major League Baseball, please do not give this guy a second chance. Please do not, because if you're going to give him a second chance, put P. Rose in the Hall of Fame. Okay, just put him in the Hall of Fame already. We all know he should be in the Hall of Fame. I know he should be in the Hall of Fame. He had 4,256 hits, the all-time hit leader, more 200 hit games than anybody in Major League Baseball history. And the guy's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But because of what he did, and because of the rule, and because of the White Sox and Shoeless Joe Jackson, he should be punished. But if you're going to bring Alex Cora back in any capacity, just put P. Rose back in the Hall of Fame. Just put him in the Hall of Fame already. All right, put steroid cheaters in the Hall. Put Sosa in there and Bonds and McGuire and all the rest of these cheaters who, you know, who you need to do drugs to make themselves better. Just put them in if you're going to bring Alex Cora back, okay? Because this man is a disgrace, and this man should be blacklisted not only in Major League Baseball but all over baseball, even high school baseball. He should never ever participate in the game because what he did was just absolutely just spit on the game. I don't care. And you're going to get caught, man. You're going to get caught eventually. Okay, with all the technology and all the Facebook and all the social media and everything. Okay, and you got the Astro players coming out and saying, "Yep, we did it." Not every day though, but yeah, we did it. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, we cheated, but not like we did it all the time. But it's just sad, it's just sad. But I've been telling people this: they need to strip them of their title. Okay, be like the Louisville Cardinals, to strip of their championship, take their banner down, and just put in their record books vacant. And that's what they need to do with the Astros. To me, there's no champion there. They cheated. They absolutely cheated. Dodgers, man, should get their parade, give them a championship. I mean, they cheated. But you know what? Just make it vacant. Okay, just that would probably be the best thing they could do. And I'm kind of irritated with Manfred because he gave a lot of these guys immunity. And I don't remember the Chicago Black Sox or White Sox of 1919 ever getting immunity when they were when they gambled. They didn't get immunity. Kennesaw Mountain Land said, you know what, you're found by a jury. You didn't do nothing wrong, and you didn't really break the law, and that's okay, and you got acquitted. Congratulations. However, there's a new policy. You bet on baseball, and not only do you bet on baseball, if you know about it, then you're going to be banned. And I think that's a slippery slope we get with Shoeless Joe Jackson. I'm a huge Shoeless Joe Jackson fan. He actually has a museum just an hour away from me in Greenville, South Carolina, where he grew up. There's a minor league baseball team out there called the Greenville Drive. So I'm living in the Carolinas, and it's the home of Shoeless Joe Jackson. Okay? And a lot of people always say, look at his numbers. He batted .376 and hit the only home run in the World Series then. How in the world did he cheat then? How in the world did he fix it? How in the world did he take off and not play hard if his numbers were that good? Well, the easy answer is because he knew about it. He knew they were cheating. He was approached with it. Okay. And I don't believe he cheated. I believe he played his heart out because he was one of the greatest hitters of all time, has a third highest batting average at 356 lifetime. But he knew about it. He knew that they were cheating. He was approached with it, and he knew. And he's guilty by association. Okay. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. The man was Babe Ruth copied his batting stance after shoeless Joe Jackson. A lot of people don't know that. He did. He had one of the best swings of all time. He's got the highest batting average of any rookie in their first year. He batted 408 one year in his rookie year. Okay, just imagine that, hitting 408 in your rookie year. That's a record nobody will break. And the man, that's all he'll be remembered for, is being kicked out of the league. Just like Pete Rose will be remembered, not for being the all-time hit king or most 200 hit seasons. He's going to be remembered for being banned from baseball for gambling. And Pete Rose just, he should be, if you're going to bring Alex Cora back, like I said, put him in the Hall of Fame. And now I hear Pete Rose going on TV, and of course, wah, 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 it's all about me. I'm the victim. I did nothing wrong. But I agree with him. What Alex Cora did was worse than him than him betting. I totally agree with him. It's worse than that. It's much, much worse. Okay? Pete Rose is just a junkie. He can't help himself. He still gambles. He lives in Las Vegas and still gambles. He hasn't learned his lesson. But he's the last person to be criticizing anything. Seriously. We knew for years and years and years he was betting on baseball. The evidence was there. The audio tapes were there. And, of course, he denied it for years and years and years. And then he writes this idiotic book called My Prison Without Bars. Give me a break. And then he goes on TV and says, yeah, I just want to let everyone know that I did bet on baseball. And we're like, no kidding. And it's a joke. It's a joke. So Pete Rose needs to be quiet, shut up. I agree with you, but shut up, because you're the last person to be criticizing anybody about trying to ruin the game of baseball. Okay. And I don't care what you say. You probably did bet against your own team, and it's all about you. And Pete Rose just needs to be quiet and just go sign autographs somewhere, okay? Because he's the last person to be saying anything about people cheating or just trying to ruin the game of baseball, okay? So you hear my take on all that. For people just tuning in, you can always tune into our broadcast at the Stables Network, at thestablesnetwork.com. I'm Rick Curti of the Charlotte Bats. This is our podcast of Charlotte Bats and more. We call it Charlotte Bats Baseball, but I didn't want people to think that we're just a baseball podcast. We're actually more than that. We're actually about sports. So this is about all sports. And as you can see, I'm not shy, okay? Like I say, I don't tell people what they want to hear. I just tell the truth. And I've bashed my teams. I bashed the Panthers out here. I've bashed Michael Jordan out here. I've bashed, the Panther fans, saying that they're happy that they're not the Browns, because that's actually what they told me. They're excited that, at least we're not the Browns. So I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you're a Cowboy fan. Can't stand the Cowboys. But, I'm just going to tell you the truth. And this is where you're going to get the truth. And if it gets me in trouble or people get offended, hey, I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling you my opinion. I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm not telling you that my word's in stone. I'm just giving you my perspective of sports, my perspective of my knowledge of sports, and just my opinions. That's all it is. So if someone says that they don't agree with me, that's okay. I hope you still like my show, and I hope you still like me. And if you're a Cowboy fan, that's okay, because I still like you. I hate your team, but I still like you. So I hope people will be tuning in for our podcast. So I'm excited for 2020. It's a new year. No more football, but the XFL's coming. Baseball's around the corner, so I'm really, really excited about that. Not really big hockey fan here, to be quite honest. You know, just not a big fan. I am happy that Las Vegas has a pro hockey team. I am excited that the Las Vegas Raiders, I've been waiting to say this for the last year. I've known they've been coming, they were going to go to Las Vegas. So I'm excited to call them the Las Vegas Raiders. And that stadium looks sensational. That thing is like all black. It's intimidating. It's in the desert. It's in Sin City. That's perfect. Now, a lot of people may not know, but I actually lived in Las Vegas. I lived there from 2001 to 2006. And when, of course, when I lived there, we had no pro sports, no baseball, no football, no hockey. We had an arena football team. That's all we had. But I'm really happy for Las Vegas, and reminds me a lot of Charlotte. It's a big growing city, but unfortunately, a lot of pro sports organizations didn't want to come here. And since I've been in Charlotte, we had the Panthers, we had the Hornets. Now we got Major League Soccer coming, and I feel Major League Baseball is around the corner, and we're on this list for expansion, just like Las Vegas is on this list for expansion. It's amazing how all that gambling that people were so afraid of, now they're embracing it. And that's because of, fantasy sports. It's a big thing. It's $1 billion organization. And having a team in Las Vegas, Nevada, man, you're going to make tons of money. You're going to have tons of entertainment. And who doesn't want to go to see a professional football team in Las Vegas, Sin City, where people just act crazy, act wild, have fun, bring your kids. It's perfect. And I'm glad that the NFL woke up and said Las Vegas does deserve a team. They should have a pro team. And well, yeah, the gambling. Well, there's gambling everywhere. We even have gambling in North Carolina. Go to Cherokee, North Carolina. We have a Harrah's up there. They have gambling in New York and New Jersey. They have gambling in Los Angeles. And there's gambling is everywhere. So how can they have a team, but yet Las Vegas doesn't? And theirs is really, really controlled. So I'm glad that those stereotypes and those walls of Las Vegas not getting a pro team are gone. The fantasy sports, to me, is absolutely the reason why they do have a team. That's $1 billion organization. And it's exciting to go to Las Vegas and to go see a pro team. I mean, when I lived there, it was unheard of. I have people that are born and raised there that never ever thought Las Vegas would ever get pro team. Now they got pro hockey and pro football. They might get pro baseball, the NBA. There's rumors that the NBA might expand to Las Vegas, which I think would be great. They're thinking about bringing back Seattle, the Sonics, which I hope they do, because I mean there's a city that deserves a NBA team. Have one of the greatest fans is Seattle with the Seahawks. They're getting a new pro hockey team now. Yeah, the NHL is going to expand to Seattle now. And I heard that the name might be the Krakens. Yeah, the Krakens, the Seattle Krakens. That's going to be the new hockey team in Seattle. So I had to look it up because I wasn't sure what it was. But a Kraken is apparently a sort of like a octopus. It's sort of like a sort of like what's that book called about the leagues under the sea? This giant squid. It's like a mythological squid. So they're going to be called the Seattle Kraken, allegedly. So welcome, Seattle Kraken, to the NHL. Glad to see a team there. They deserve it. And, of course, they got the Seattle Dragons of the XFL. And apparently they have like number one or number two in ticket sales right now with the XFL. That's amazing. They have the Seahawks. And like I said, Seattle's a great, great city, a great fan base for professional sports. They love their pro sports, and hopefully Charlotte will get like that. I think because we've been so spoiled with college sports with the Tar Heels, and that's another story. Tar Heels looking really bad this season. It's like one of the worst seasons they've ever had. Poor Roy Williams. Duke's not doing. Duke is they're okay. They're not doing as usually good as they are. So hopefully Charlotte will get on that path. Hopefully we become a city known for professional sports instead of college and NASCAR. And I think having the soccer team will help. Having David Tepper here will help. He's really shaking things up. Some of the Panther fan base, of course, are still mourning the loss of Ron Rivera. And, again, Ron Rivera, I'm sure he's a very nice man. I've never met the man personally. I have no doubt if I met him, he'd be like super awesome, super cool. Okay. But the guy was an okay coach. He's got the same record as Jason Garrett. Now, who thinks Jason Garrett is a terrific coach? Nobody does. Okay. He did a great job here. He was a good man. He was a good coach. But you know what? Being a nice guy ain't going to win you a Super Bowl. Okay. You can just tell that Bill Parcells, probably one of the greatest coaches of all time, wasn't the most friendliest guy. Just told it like it is, like I'm telling you right now. But he won. And you don't have to be a mean person to win a Super Bowl. Look at Tony Dungy. He's probably one of the most nicest, most well-respected uh, people, not only in the NFL, all over the world. People love Tony Dungy. He won a Super Bowl. Look at all the success he had with the Colts. So you don't have to be this tyrant and throwing things and cursing like a Bobby Knight or something like that to be successful. Just be great. So being Mr. Nice Guy doesn't matter, and I feel that Matt Rule will do a great job. I saw when he was with Temple. They were a terrible team, made them good. Baylor, he went to Baylor where all these sex assaults happen under the watch of Art Briles, who's another disgusting parasite who I hope is never in professional sports. Last I heard, he was coaching some team in Italy. I don't know how true that is, but he's in Italy somewhere coaching some football team, whatever. I hope he does a great job. Baylor was a mess. He had like 1 or 2 wins his first year because they were on probation. And they were they were almost got the death penalty. And look what he did with them this year. Took them to a bowl game. They were great. They in Minnesota were 2 of the most improved teams in college football. And now he's with the Panthers. And so all these Panther fans are all upset that he's coming here. They don't like his record. He's got a losing record. He took 2-0 teams and made them good. And that's why he's coming to the Panthers, because the Panthers have been awful the last 3 years. They have been awful. Okay? Since losing in the Super Bowl, they have just been not even mediocre. They've been awful. And that's why he got a 7-year deal, because we already know the next 2 or 3 years, it's rebuilding time. Luke Kuechly's gone. We heard Greg Olson's not coming back, and he might go to the Redskins, want to be reunited. And Greg Olson's actually going to be doing some XFL games, so I'm super excited for him. They're going to be rebuilding, and it takes time. But they have to, because they're not doing nothing. And Tepper wants to win a championship. He was with the Steelers. So he's used to winning. So I'm glad he's here shaking things up. And I hope people are uncomfortable, and I hope people are scared and worried, because they should be. But that's just a part of trying to be successful. We need change with this organization. You can't be, getting the same type of coaches all the time. We need to draw a lot of people in this city. The Panthers need to draw a lot of people. And, I think Tepper is the best thing that came to the Panthers organization. He really is. He's got all the money, and he brought soccer. He did that all by himself pretty much. He said he wanted Major League Soccer to come here. Maybe he wants a Major League Baseball team. I got to call him up. Maybe he wants, maybe the next thing will bring a Super Bowl to Charlotte. That'd be great. We'll see what happens, but I'm just telling people the next 2 or 3 years, the Panthers are going to stink. They're going to be terrible. But you know what? You build your team up. You get players. You get quarterback. You get a better offensive line, a tackle. They need everything. They need a wide receiver. They need everything. They got so many holes right now. It's like Swiss cheese, okay? But it's okay, because they're going to be rebuilding. It takes time. So you just got to trust it. Who cares what the Chiefs did? Who cares what the Patriots did? Who cares what all these other good teams are doing now? Look at the 49ers. They were a joke. And they were just in the Super Bowl. They almost won it. They almost won the Super Bowl. And that took like what, a couple of years under Kyle Shanahan. And I remember when they got Lynch and everybody like, oh my God, why are they getting him? He's got no experience. Well, he's doing a great job. They got Garoppolo, who I think is a very good quarterback. And of course, he's getting all this heat because they lost. Hey, he took him to the Super Bowl. Took a team that was terrible, and in 2 years, took him to the Super Bowl. Look at how good their record is with Garoppolo. He's really a great quarterback. That's why the Patriots didn't want to lose him, but they lost him. So it just takes time. So Panther Nation out there, you tuning in, just be patient. Trust Matt Rule. Trust Tepper. Let's stop talking about the past with Ron Rivera and John Fox. And remember when we went to the Super Bowl? No, I really don't care when we were in the Super Bowl because we choked and we lost. Doesn't matter. Cam coming back, who cares? He wants to play 1 year, play 1 year. He'll be gone. He's not going to be back. They're not going to re-sign him. Why should they? He wants to be a celebrity. He don't want to be a great quarterback. He just wants to be a celebrity. It's all about me. So just trust the process, guys. And speaking of Garoppolo, speaking of the Patriots, a lot of people were all over last week, all mad at Tom Brady for posting this picture on Twitter, and he's standing out in the tunnel, and it's kind of like, what is he doing? And is he staying? Is he going? Is he retiring? He's not retiring. He already said he's not going to retire. He already said he's going to be back next season. Now, the question was, is he going to be back with the Patriots? And he's like, I don't know. We'll see. He's a free agent. He's going to be testing free agency. I would. If I was a free agent for the first time, I'd test it. Why not? I mean, my goodness, look at my resume. Look at all the Super Bowls I won, all the Super Bowls I've been, MVPs, my records, my stats. I'm a legend. Of course, you're going to test free agency and see what you can get. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going to the Raiders, okay? I know he just bought a house in Summerlin. He ain't going to the Raiders. He's not going to play for the Chargers because he's from Northern California, okay? I would love for him to come to the Panthers. That ain't going to happen. He's going to stay with the Patriots. They're probably going to make him the highest paid quarterback. And I could just hear people say, oh, my God, he's going to give this guy all this money. Well, that's money that he deserves because he's taken so many pay cuts for so many years. So this is rewarding him for doing a great job. He deserves all that money. He deserves to be the highest paid quarterback at 42 years old. Why not? Look at all he's done, for Pete's sakes. Won more Super Bowls, been to more Super Bowls. He holds every record in the Super Bowl. If you ever had to pick a quarterback you want to win with, it's either Joe Montana or Tom Brady, or Tom Brady, Joe Montana, period. There's no question he should be the highest paid quarterback with all the pay cuts he did. How many superstars do you see taking pay cuts? There have been some, but not many. They all want all their money, and they should. He's been taking pay cuts like crazy. Not the first to do it. He's one of the first big-time superstars to do it. He's been underpaid for many, many years. Now, I don't feel bad for Tom Brady because the guy's a billionaire. He's making so much money from sponsors and commercials. He's married to this beautiful wife, and, he's got the picture-perfect life. I can see why people hate him so much. Just like when people hate LeBron James, they hate the guy so much, and you tell them, well, why do you hate him so much? I don't know. I just hate him. People are jealous. It's just pure and simple. People are jealous. They're jealous of Tom Brady, jealous of a lot of these players. I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan, okay, but I give him my respect for what he's done for the team, for the league, for the success. The man's 42 years old and wants to play still. He still wants to win a Super Bowl. It's like Kobe Bryant. It's like win or that's it. Kobe was always, talked about his passion for being a perfectionist and always wanting to win no matter what and always competing. Well, so is Tom Brady. He wants to win. He wants to go back and win a Super Bowl. He wants to win a championship again, and people get tired of it. Well, that's just how he is. He wants to win again. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots win another Super Bowl. But that'll probably be his last because I think he'll re-sign with the Patriots. It'll be like a 1-year deal with a player option, so like 2 years, and then he'll retire, and then he'll get in the Hall of Fame, and Probably be an analyst, or might be an owner, might be a coach, or he might just disappear and become a hermit. We don't know. But he should be the highest paid quarterback. He should. He deserves it. That's a reward for not because you're sensational now. It's because you are sensational. You're a legend. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't get these other players. We wouldn't get all these other players that we needed. And you have all these selfish athletes now. It's all about money. It's all about me. Hey, I'm only getting $20 million a year. This other guy's getting $25 million. I'm better than him. Why don't you pay me that money? And they sit out, and it's a joke. It's a joke. So, you got to give it to Tom Brady for doing that, for just putting the team first, saying, you know what, I'm going to make money. I don't care. I just want to win. Period. He's obsessed with winning. And I hope that would be great if he came to the Panthers. Ain't going to happen, but I wish we had players with that type of mentality there. It ain't going to be from Cam Newton. He don't care. He got all his money. He's set for life. I'm done. I'm good. So, Tom Brady, if you do retire, I don't think you will. But if you do, you've had a hell of a career and good job. And that's a great segue because of the Hall of Fame. They just announced the Baseball Hall of Famers. Derek Jeter was on there. No surprise. Larry Walker. I was kind of like, But as I look at his numbers, yeah, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I had no problems. Marvin Miller should have been in the Hall of Fame decades ago. That man's a pioneer. It wasn't for him, the leagues would not have any players unions, and the players would not have any rights. Marvin Miller started all that. And Ted Simmons, great career. I remember when he was with the Braves, probably like the last years. So I don't remember him in his prime years, but yeah, I have no dispute about it. It's not like we have Harold Baines or other like Alan Trammell. I'm like, Alan Trammell's in the Hall of Fame, but not Lou Whitaker. Give me a break. But the one thing that really is annoying and is so dumb, and I guess it's our society, but people are so angry that Derek Jeter was not 100% in the Hall of Fame. What did he get? He got like what, 99 point whatever percentage of the votes? And people are angry that he didn't get like 100% of the votes. That's crazy. The man's a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. I mean, if he didn't get in the Hall of Fame, that should have been the outrage. It shouldn't be that he didn't get in 100%. And people are angry. Well, he should have got in 100% because he deserved it. But there have been a lot of players in Major League Baseball that didn't get in 100%. How in the world does Nolan Ryan not get in at 100%? The man has over 5,000 strikeouts. No one's ever going to touch that record. Nobody will probably break that the 7 no-hitters he's thrown. He played 27 years. The man was throwing like 90 miles an hour at age 43. Never been linked to steroids at all. And the man didn't get 100%. Hank Aaron, of all people, most home runs ever. 3,000 hits. Superstar, legend. He didn't get 100%. Frank Robinson won a Triple Crown. Won Rookie of the Year with the Reds. I think he still holds the National League, or I think he did at the time, of most home runs by a rookie. Then he goes to another league, and I don't care what people tell you, American and National League are different. And he does great with the Orioles. Won a Triple Crown there. One of very few players to win a Triple Crown. He didn't get 100%. Steve Carlton, I can go on and on and on of the players that didn't get 100%. And Martin Rivera is the only one that got 100%. And I'm not doubting he should be in the Hall of Fame. But he was not starting pitcher. And he got 100%. He's the only one. That's ridiculous. He's the only one. Hank Aaron should have got 100%. Nolan Ryan. A lot of players. Steve Carlton, Tom Seaver, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays. Willie Mays, probably the greatest all-around player in Major League Baseball, in my opinion. The man's the LeBron James of baseball. Guy fielded. He hit for average. He hit home runs. He stole bases. He did everything. He didn't get 100%. And people are outraged because Derek Jeter only got 99 point whatever percent. Give me a break. I'm telling you, man, our society, we get angry about the most idiotic things. And all my friends were angry about it. It wasn't just like all my friends were posting about it. This is an outrage. This is a disgrace that he didn't get 100%. But yet they're not upset that Nolan Ryan didn't get in. It just amazes me how people get so angry over the most stupidest things in the world. Like I said, if he didn't get in the Hall of Fame, then that's different. But because he didn't get 100% of the votes, people are outraged that it's disrespectful to him. Give me a break. And Derek Jeter's probably care less that he got 90. He's another guy, good-looking guy, legend, Hall of Fame, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, People love, he's so respected, played the game right. I love Derek Jeter. And he's like Kobe Bryant to me. And Tom Brady, they just have that they need to win. They want to win. They're so competitive. They're perfectionists. I can't say that about him being an owner. He's a terrible owner right now. So hopefully he'll get that straightened out in Miami. But I just outrage. It just irritates me that people get so upset over the most stupidest things in the world. Like Mariano Rivera getting 100%. There ain't no doubt he's a Hall of Famer, but he was never a starting pitcher. He was a middle relief pitcher, and you give a middle relief pitcher or a guy that pitched 980, not even a middle relief, a closer, 100% of the votes. That's outrageous. Like I said, Nolan Ryan should have got it. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Steve Carlton, Johnny Bench. I can name like 20 people on the top of my head right now that should have been there 100%. Lou Gehrig, the Iron Man, Cal Ripken, And then you got players who are not in the Hall of Fame still. And someone please tell me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. How in the world is Fred McGriff not in the Hall of Fame? They have players in there that the Hall of Fame has become the Hall of Very Good. Harold Baines should not be in the Hall of Fame. That is outrageous. And I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. I saw the guy play. He is not a Hall of Famer. Alan Trammell, he was a good player. He's not a Hall of Famer. If you're going to put him in, put Lou Whitaker in for Pete's sakes. Okay? It's become the Hall of Very Good. I've seen these pitchers that were very good pitchers are now like they should be in Cooperstown. Are you kidding me? Having 2 or 3 or 4 good seasons does not make you a Hall of Famer. You have to have years and years and years. You got to have common sense to see who should be in the Hall of Fame. How in the world is Fred McGriff not in the Hall of Fame? And people are not outraged by that. The man almost hit 500 home runs. He hit 495. He came close to it. He led both leagues in home runs, which is something you never hear of. Back in his day when he hit, we didn't have the 50 home runs. Okay, you hit 35, 36 home runs, you're probably going to lead the league. And he led both leagues. It was with the Padres. He did it with the Blue Jays. How is he not in the Hall of Fame? He won a World Series because people say, well, you got to win a championship to be in the Hall of Fame, which is not true. Well, he won a World Series with the Braves. How's he not in the Hall of Fame? And he never gets mentioned or he gets I never hear people say he got snubbed again. I keep hearing Dale Murphy should be in the Hall of Fame. And no, I love Dale Murphy. I met the man. He's a great human being, great guy. No, he was a very, very good player. Borderline-ish, I can see, but the numbers are really not there. Fred McGriff's numbers are there. And Major League Baseball needs to put him in the Hall of Fame. How he's never mentioned, I guess maybe because he didn't had this crazy lifestyle. He was just a quiet guy, no controversy. Never talked bad about his teammates, never heard a scandal about him. And that's sad. That is sad. I mean, that's how you want your kids to be raised, to be like a Fred McGriff, and no scandals. No one talks bad about you. No one's nothing on him. But because he was like led a nice life and he was quiet and he wasn't like in the spotlight, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Really? So Major League Baseball, wake up, put the crime dog in the Hall of Fame. That is the biggest outrage. That's the biggest joke. Having Harold Baines in is a joke. Alan Trammell in, I don't say it's a joke, but he's not a Hall of Famer to me. Bert Blyleven, I don't think he should be in there. He was a great pitcher. I don't know about a Hall of Famer, but whatever. Okay. Put the crime dog in the Hall of Fame. And please stop. People need to stop being angry that Derek Jeter didn't get all the Hall of Fame votes. He didn't get in at 100%. Well, he's a Yankee. Who cares if he's a Yankee? Who cares? Don't matter. Don't matter what team you play for. You could play for the Yankees or you could play for a team in Hoboken, New Jersey. Who cares? If you're going to be in the Hall of Fame, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Not because you got in there 100% or because you weren't the most popular person like Fred McGriff. And then you got all these other players are getting in that to me are not Hall of Famers, like a Harold Baines or an Alan Trammell or Bert Blyleven. This year they got it right. I was kind of like, Larry Walker, I don't know. I look at his numbers. Yeah, they're there. And people criticize and say, well, he played in Colorado where the air is so thin up there that ball carried so much and all that stuff. That doesn't matter to me because he was already a Hall of Famer when he was with the Expos. Okay. So I don't have a problem with him. I like Larry Walker. He's a great player. So, yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Ted Simmons, Marvin Miller should have been in decades ago. I'm glad he's in. And, of course, Derek Jeter should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not disputing that. I'm just disputing that people are so angry he didn't get 100% of the vote. But yet they're okay that Fred McGriff's not in. And they're not outraged that Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and Nolan Ryan. Babe Ruth didn't even get it 100%, okay? Ty Cobb didn't even get it 100%. Okay. And I was talking to my brother the other day. He's mad that Curt Schilling's not in the Hall of Fame. And he's like, oh, he's just not in because of his politics and he's a Republican and he likes Trump or whatever, And that's probably the reason he's not in there. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. With the people they're putting in there, why not? He was a great pitcher. I don't like his politics. I don't like what he says. It's totally offensive to me. But this is not the Hall of Very Good Guys. If that was the case, Ty Cobb wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Ty Cobb was the most meanest, most racist, most ignorant human being on the face of the earth. He's also one of the greatest ball players of all time. I believe he's the greatest. 367 batting average, 2,245 runs scored, 4,191 hits. He won more batting titles than anybody in 12. Led the league in batting 9 times, hit 403 times, stole home 35 times, and go on and on and on. Guy was the greatest baseball player ever lived, but was the biggest SOB. The players, his own teammates hated him. He used to go into the stands and beat up fans. He was a habitual, disgusting racist. So it's not the Hall of Very Nice People. There's a lot of players in there that are, that are probably not the nicest people in the world. Ty Cobb was he's a horrible human being. So, yeah, put Curt Schilling in the Hall of Fame. I don't have a problem with him. I don't care that I don't like him as a person. His numbers are there. Who could forget the bloody sock? Who could forget the year with the Diamondbacks winning a championship with the Red Sox after all those years? He was a great pitcher. I think the question is, did he do it for a longer period of time? Because that's what I like to look at. How long did they do it? I don't care about he had 3 or 4 great years. I'm talking about, did he do it for a long period of time? Now, some people will say, well, what about Sandy Koufax? He was terrible. And then he had 5 great years. Well, because he was so dominant is why he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, you're right. His career, his numbers weren't, but man, he was sensational during his prime. When he won 4 Cy Youngs, threw 4 no-hitters, something like that. He was one of the most dominant pitchers for a short period of time. But yeah, put Curt Schilling in the Hall of Fame. Why not? I don't care what he believes. I don't care if he says things that are completely offensive to me, which they are. I don't care they got fired off ESPN a couple times. I don't care. His numbers are there. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Sure. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, it's not the Hall of Very Nice People. It's the Hall of Fame. And the people they're putting in there right now, even though they got it right this year, how do we know they're going to do it, get it right next year? I doubt it. They'll probably put somebody back in. Tim Raines is a great player. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. He was a great player. He's one of the best stolen base leaders, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think Barry Larkin should be in the Hall of Fame. He was another great player. I don't think he should be in. There's a difference between being a great player and being a legend Hall of Fame player like a Cal Ripken. It's one of those things where you don't have to think about. It should be something that is like, of course it should be in the Hall of Fame, not like, well, yeah, they were okay. Yeah, they did really good. They were really good. No. And it's become the Hall of Very Good. It's very sad. Because every year when they announce the Hall of Fame, you're like, who got in? Are you serious? And it's always somebody when it's their last year of eligibility that get in. Like, why don't you just put them in all right away? Why do you have to wait till there's their last year of eligibility? And then it makes it look like it's a farce. Like, well, they only got in because it was their last year of eligibility. After that, they couldn't have gone in unless the veterans, voted on it. So the Hall of Fame is, like I said, the Hall of Very Good. It's become, I guess, the Hall of Very Nice People or the Hall of Popularity. It's all politics. It's a joke. You need to get their act together. I'm glad they got Marvin Miller in. I mean, this guy's a pioneer. This guy was head of the Major League Baseball Players Union. Without him, the NFL wouldn't have a union. Players would not have rights. They couldn't appeal stuff. It's because of Marvin Miller. He started all that. The man is a pioneer. Finally, he got in. Please put Fred McGriff in the Hall of Fame. Just put him in the Hall of Fame already. Put Curt Schilling in the Hall of Fame. Even though I totally disagree with his politics, it's not about politics. It's about what you do. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Okay? And make it the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good. I heard Mike Mussina should be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, great pitcher, not a Hall of Famer. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. But then you got other players that should be in, that will probably get in, So we'll see what happens next year. I hope it's not they got it right this year. I'm happy with it. No controversy. Like I said, idiot people angry that Derek Jeter and get 100% of the votes. Like, I think I'm the only one that feels this way. Everyone I see are outraged by it or were outraged by it. And I was the first one to say, who cares? Why are people so angry about that? So that's just my take on it. That's just my opinion on it. I'm sure people will agree or disagree with me, and that's fine. Like I said, I'm not here to get you to agree with me. I like when people disagree with me. It's fun. It's great. I have a good time disagreeing with people. I have a lot of friends who I disagree with. And that's all it should be. If we all agreed on everything, we all be like mindless robots. And I don't want to be a mindless robot. So if you're just tuning in, we're Primetime with the StablesNetwork.com. I'm your host, Rick Curti, the Charlotte Bats Baseball Podcast, and actually more. We're not just about baseball. We cover all sports. You've been hearing me go on my rampage about the Hall of Fame. I've been disgusted with the Hall of Fame for the past 5 to 10 years because it's become the Hall of Very Good. But we talk about everything here: Super Bowl, XFL, hockey. We can talk about curling if you want. I don't know nothing about curling. I don't get it. We can talk about curling if you like. So you want to reach me, I'm at charlottebatsbaseball@gmail.com. And just tell me, what do you want to hear? You want to talk about curling? We'll talk about curling. You want to talk about beach volleyball? We'll talk about beach volleyball. You want to talk about the halftime show or who I think will win the Academy Award? Sure, we can talk about the Academy Awards. I think Joaquin Phoenix will run away with the Joker. I like that movie. It's a good movie. We talk about everything here. We can talk about anything you want. So just contact me at charlottebatsbaseball@gmail.com and say, Rick, I want you to talk about this today. And I'll say, sure, I'll do it, because I'm here for the fans. I'm here for the people, not here to someone's agenda. I just come on here and I just kind of rattle how I feel. And if you like what I have to say, great. And if you don't like what I have to say, but you think I'm kind of a kooky guy, then hey, that's okay. I'm not gonna yell and scream and holler at you because we totally disagree on something. That's fine. That's fine. And like I said, even if you're a Cowboy fan, you can come on here. Just kidding there. So once again, we're at primetimewiththestablesnetwork.com. I'm your host, Rick Curti of the Charlotte Bats. I'm the founder and CEO. People don't know who I am. I'm trying to bring Major League Baseball to Charlotte. And we've been quite busy in 2020. I'm very, very excited. And we're on this list, and hopefully we can get on there. Las Vegas is on there, and Nashville. So we got some good cities, to me, who deserve it. There's not one city on that list that I don't think doesn't deserve it. They all deserve it, but I'm biased. I think it should be us. So we'll see what happens with that. I hope people enjoyed the Super Bowl, and I hope people are having a good time. So we'll be on next Monday. I want to apologize for not being on there last Monday, but we wanted to pay respects to Kobe and the rest of the people that died in that horrific helicopter accident. There were people. My brother actually cried when Kobe Bryant died. I was in shock. I just thought it was one of those jokes, and it's just sad because such a young man that it's just sad. And one guy lost his father, he lost his mom and his sister right off. I mean, can you imagine? I can't even fathom that. That's just crazy. But we'll be back next Monday. Like I said, I'm Charlotte Bats baseball podcast and more. We talk about all sports. Shoot me an email at charlottebatsbaseball@gmail.com and say, Rick, I want you to talk about this. And it could be anything. We can talk about the Academy Awards if you like. We talk about Grammys, politics. One thing you don't want to talk about is politics and religion. Okay? So we'll avoid that. It's no political or religious show. So I'll be on next Monday. Tune in to us at primetimewiththestablesnetwork.com. And I'm your host, Rick Curti of the Charlotte Bats. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and see you next Monday. Thank you guys and have a great day.